Runk.
North Bay, Ontario, Sudbury, Ontario, and Toronto, Ontario. This weekend, Toronto in Meridian Hall, Saturday, November 9th, Toronto. Chris D'Elia will be there with his tour, his critically acclaimed tour, Straight Out of the Multiverse. Chris D'Elia, and then Bismarck, North Dakota, November 15th. Sioux Falls, the night after that, for some reason. South Dakota, Weiser, North Dakota, and South Dakota. There should just be Dakota. And then I will be, Chris D'Elia, whoops, sorry, it's not me. Chris D'Elia will be in Irvine, California, November 27th. And then Brea, California in December. And then, just go. ChrisD'Elia.com. Get tickets. Nice. And without further ado, episode 411 of Congratulations. Crazy. Dude, I'm just reminded, dude. Shout out to Rob Hay for reminding me about that on the super good edits Instagram. I used to do my dates like that, dude. That is, I'm reminded of how annoying that is. That radio DJs and radios do that. It's also the radio. Well, I guess Sirius XM still kind of does it. Right, they'll still do that kind of stuff, but nothing beats like the straight up dial where you go in the news and then here at KKK Rock saying KKK. So here at KKK Rock, what white supremacy, burning crosses on your lawn if you're a shade darker. And so, yeah, we start off with a bang. So, but anyway, K-Rock and all that stuff did that. And it's just like, here all right, KLOS. Anyway, we probably got demonetized for that, but it's okay. The Dodgers win. Go Doyers, man. And it's lit. And I watched the World Series, okay? And I watched it in my new home that we've been there for 2 months. It's still, we are basically, everything is being like, well, not everything. There's a lot of work being done in the house, okay? And we're making it our house, right? We bought it and then we're doing what we're doing to it. And there's just like dust everywhere and shit. We're all for sure getting cans. And so we have this one TV that is it's like an LG TV, which is, by the way, Life's Good is the stupidest name for it's like, guy is definitely divorced. And so the guy who owns it. So we got this LG TV that's like this thing that you just bring around with you. And it's about 100 pounds. It's so fucking heavy, but not for me. And it's hard. It's by the side, besides the fact that it's heavy, it's awkward. Those are the worst things to carry. And Kristen's always telling me to move something not necessarily heavy but awkward, and I cannot stand it. Can you get the chair? And I look, and it's like a chair that like was the first chair that was made when the first king was appointed somewhere. And I'm like, it's 30 pounds at the base and 755 pounds on the top back of it. So what's up, man? I'm just going to rupture discs. And so it's one of those things you pick up and you just go, hold on. And so that's what this TV is like. The LG, the Life's Good TV. That's such a bad brand name, Shout out to Life's Good. So LG. And so we move it around the house from room to room because we don't have the TVs in it yet. And I watched. Now, my wife loves sports, and just any sports. She's just like sugar for kids to her. She like how kids are just like, it's candy, I'll eat it. And you're like, well, this is not a candy you've had before. And they're like, doesn't matter, I want it. Like my son is Calvin, Billy will see, but Calvin is just, is it candy? Is it processed? They made it in a lab? I'll have it. Come on. And so, what color is it? Pink? Hot pink? Give it to me. Is it, the consistency is like the bottom of a shoe if you leave it in the sun too long? Put it in my body, in my mouth. And so, yeah, like he had Swedish fish the other night. Oh, I got a whole lot. We were talking about Halloween, but anyway. So, I'm watching the Dodgers because she just puts it on and every time she puts on a thing about sports, she can't not say, see, this is why I love sports. And I'm just like, I know why you love sports, okay? Also, she never expands on that. See, this is why. And I don't even want to get into it. I'm like, yeah, still in my head, Oh yeah, that's why she loves it. And we watched a game, and then she was like she was like other places for the rest of the games. I don't remember what she was doing, but I just turned it on because I wanted to, which is the first time I've ever turned on sports in years and years. I mean, decades. I watched the Dodgers play the Yanks, and I was rooting, dude. Like, I was like, oh, yeah, here comes Freddie Freeman. That's his name. Here he comes. Hopefully he hits a home run so his Achilles ankle he doesn't have to run and bruise it more. And I'm just like rooting. And I'm having more fun than I had more fun watching sports than I had in decades. And I watched it with only Billy, I feel like, a few games. And it was just so fun, dude. And I was rooting and happy and jumping, and I'm like, man, I'm just kind of a sports guy, man. I won't watch it ever again. But the Dodgers won. Shout out to the Dodgers. Shout out to Freddie Freeman. That was cool, man. The guy kept knocking dingers, dude. And that's cool, man. That's cool. The city was, and then the city, dude. Celebrations for sporting events should legitimately be 2 hours after the event, and then you don't do it anymore. And it is absolutely outlawed after that. It is, you go to jail. You get 2 hours to party up. And almost like the purge, you can do anything. Almost anything. You can't, you can kill someone, but only out of excitement, not premeditative, You can't be like, okay, finally, the Dodgers won. We get that rule, so I'm going to go kill that person that slept with my wife. You don't get to do that. But if you're like the guy who did you see the dude who blew his hands up? Oops. That guy gets no repercussions, no fines. Pretty much his repercussions is now, got no hands. And oh my God, that was a harrowing. I saw that video. I don't watch videos like that, but somebody sent it to me, and I'm just like, let me just and I watched different angles and stuff. Just like I kept looking, And the guy, he was just it looked like AI, dude. His hands just blew up. That would suck, And so you get to do that for 2 hours, and then if you do that the next day, like they lit a bus on fire, if it's outside that window, they've got to throw you onto that bus that's burning. I just think it's, be excited for a little bit and then move on. Go to work and then be sad again because of the Mundane, mundanity, banality of life. Yes, got out of that one. And so, anyway, I just, I don't know. I was number one draft pick when I was 12 in Little League. So go yeet yourselves. Yeah. Fucking crushed baseballs. I was at Erewhon yesterday. Actually, two things. Well, no, this one isn't that interesting, but I'll let me put this as the appetizer, and then I will give you the main course. I saw a rapper. No, here's the deal. Here's how racist I am, okay? And I don't want to be racist, okay? But sometimes you don't mean to be, all right? And then it turns out, all right, let me just tell the story, okay? So I'm at Erewhon, and there's a guy before me, and he's ordering food, okay? The guy's black. He's got a lot of tattoos, wearing a lot of really expensive jewelry. He's got an AP on his wrist, it's gold, and then just like diamonds on his neck and, dreadlock kind of stuff. I don't really know. And I'm like, okay, oh shit, this guy's got a lot of money. And then I'm like, I feel kind of weird, and I'm like, why do I feel weird? Because I'm not usually maybe it's just because I'm not usually at Erewhon at this time, right? You ever go to a place that you go to a lot at a different time, and you're just like, dude, this isn't right. It was like that. So maybe it was just that. Okay. And so I'm like, but then I realized, no, it's not just that. It's that there's two other really big dudes dressed in all black that are hovering about, 20 feet from me and this guy. Now, I'm not with this guy who's iced out. Obviously, I'm next in line. And I almost said, hey, nice watch, bro, but I didn't. And then I'm like, oh, these guys are bodyguards. So, okay. So I'm like, wow, this guy must be a very famous person, right? Because if you get look, let's face it, man. Look, I have gotten bodyguards before in certain situations, but if you're just walking around Erewhon with bodyguards and you're me, you're an asshole. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, well, I don't know who this guy is, but he's got bodyguards? How is that possible? So I'm like, I am 44. This guy might be 30. Maybe he speaks to the kids. And I'm like, that's crazy. So I walk out. So I see a tattoo on the back of his tricep, and it says, "Make millions." And I'm like, okay. Now, it's not even nicely done. It just says, "Make millions." Like I did it. Like it's like doesn't even look like by a tattoo artist. It looks like he was like said to somebody who featured for him, "Yo, man, you might write and make millions on my tricep." And the guy was like, "Bet." And then he just did it. And then he's like, "Cool, let's go to Erewhon." And so it says "Make millions" on the back of his tricep. And as I leave the place, okay, this girl comes up to me and says, "Hey, can I have a picture with you? My mom and I love you." And that guy saw it. Yes, I won. And so it's fine. No one asked him, but it's all good. So I'm like, I need bodyguards, dude. Right? Yes, I won the fame competition. But anyway, it's fine, dude. Also, we were in Calabasas, and that's probably more my demo than his, but whatever. It doesn't matter. So I get in the car, and without a thought, I just Google rapper. Oh, and I saw he had I got in a car that was dope. It was like matte gray charcoal, and like the bodyguards got in there with him, and the license plate was Georgia. So I'm like, I get in my car, and I just, without even thinking, grab my phone and Google rapper from Atlanta with "Make Millions" tattoo. Racist, dude. No one said he was a rapper. Guess what? I guess what I can't do? Find out who it is. For like 10 minutes, I'm like, rapper with make millions. Maybe I could. Rapper from Georgia with make millions. I try that. And then I'm like, oh yeah. Like 11 minutes in, I think, oh yeah. This guy could be anything. I'm racist. And then I'm like, I mean, I guess it could, well, he's not fit enough to be a ball player. Racist? But then I'm like, if he's not an actor, dude. He looked too specific, you know? Like so much, he's just like imagine he was just like the second lead on NCIS. He's just like, yo, man, just on a computer, just like, way ahead of you, dog. Way ahead of you, bruh. I picked up, I found a perp. The eye in the sky picked it up, dog. That's a line for him. Man. Right there. They write it in. NCIS, Scott Bakula. Did you get the perp? Fucking this guy in NCIS. His line. And so, man, I ain't running to get him. Fuck that. You know what I mean? Just like. Anyway, dude. So I'm Googling for a while, and I'm like, yeah, he could be anything. But then I'm like, why does he have bodyguards? But so I'm like, nah, he's a fucking rapper though, dude. I don't even care if that's racist. He's a rapper, and he just had that feel. And then I Googled Gunna, just cuz. And lo and behold, it was Gunna. So we got it. It was Gunna. And thank you, Google. And dude, I was at Erewhon with Gunna, and dude, it was lit, dude, man. You know, I mean, we were lit. Wasn't he in jail? Well, he was fat, right? And then he just like all of a sudden trimmed up. He started running on the treadmill. I think he was in jail, and then leaned out, and then he got man, that guy he used to dress so bad. He looked all right. Gunna. Gunna. Okay, so I saw him, and that was the appetizer, because nothing really happened in that story except for it exposed my racism. Now I'm driving today. I'm at Sweetgreens. Okay, first of all, I go to Sweetgreens every now and then, but I don't go too much because it's one of those places, and you know exactly what the fuck I'm talking about. If you go too much, it sucks so bad. But if you don't go a lot, it's an absolute banger. This is the shit I think about, by the way, all right? Sweetgreens, if you go once every 10 days, mwah, chef's kiss. If you go twice a week, bleh, vomit. Why are places like that? I don't know. I didn't create the places. I'm not Jesus Christ. So, I'm at Sweetgreens, and I go to Sweetgreens. I pick up Calvin from school, and I say, "Hey, bud, I'm gonna go to Sweetgreens. You want to go, or you want me to drop you off at home first?" And he says, "I do not like Sweetgreens." And I said, "Okay, I could drop you off first." He says, "If you do go to Sweetgreens, one thing: do not get me anything. I do not like it." And I'm like, "All right, it doesn't have to be like that, you know. I could also get you something, and then you don't eat it, and that's fine." He acts like if that happens, a tsunami will encapsulate us, right? Encompass. Should have said it. Should have said encompass. But so I'm like, okay. So we get to my house. I drop him off. I let him out of the car. He runs in the house. I'm watching him run in. And then he gets in the, he opens the door and he looks back at me. And I said, all right, buddy, I'll see you in a little bit. I'm going to Sweetgreens. And he says, remember, do not get me anything. Okay. So I'm like, yeah, okay. I won't. But then I was having fun with it. And I was like, you know what, Cal, I'll just get you a bowl. And he was like, no, I do not like Sweetgreens. Do not get me Sweetgreens. I'm like, all right, buddy, I won't. I won't. So I drive, I leave away. I drive away, I leave. I go to Sweetgreens. I get out of the car, and dude, this shit pissed me off to infinity. I get out of the car, and I did the thing where I had slanty pockets, and the keys went in the thing, and then it was one of those, the keys went in they fell in the seat, and then there were like 5 people that arrived at the same time, and I would have been first, but because I had to look for the key in the side, I was last, so I was at Sweetgreens for 30 minutes. And so it should have been 5. So, wow, it was actually a debacle, the whole thing, because I was there and I was like, yeah, I'll get the miso salmon bowl. And she was like, okay, great. As is. And I said, yup. And then she still went on the whole down the line saying, and do you want this? And I said, in my head, I said, as is. Yeah, just as is. And I just kept saying, yeah, as is. Yeah. And would you like the fucking pickled onions? Yeah, as is. And now she says shit like, would you like the crunchy shit? And I go, and I don't want it. But I'm like, well, I already said as is, and I got an attitude here, so I got to eat it. Dude, the shit that goes on in your own head that doesn't need to is amazing. So now I get the Sweetgreens, and I get home. And the story wasn't even supposed to be about the Sweetgreens, but this is what happened. All right, so something happened. So I get home, and Calvin said, no, you know what? Let me tell it this way. I get in the car, I leave with my Sweetgreens, okay? I'm at the stoplight. I pull up next to a guy with his window open. Now, my window's open too. Now, whoops, right? Okay? Whether you like it or not, people know who I am, okay? So and I know this, all right? And if I pull up next to somebody with their window open and my window's open, whoops for me, okay? Because sometimes that person will be like, hey, and whoops for me, okay? And that's fine, but here's why whoops. I'm at the mercy of the stoplight, right? I can't be like, anyway. Sometimes it stops the conversation. So I was like, okay, oh, thanks, dude. Yeah. Oh, good. Oh, really? Oh, great. And then you're just sitting there. You can't roll up the window because it's basically like saying, I fucked your wife. So you just got to sit there and be weird. And so the guy says, hey, you ever at the clubs in L.A.? Which is fine. All good. And I said, oh, yeah. And he said, yeah. What's the best night to go to, like, the Comedy Store if I want to go see comedians that are in town working on material and not necessarily their honed stuff? And I'm like, oh, are we in a meeting? Or are you driving by? But I take it into account, and I'm like, that's actually a good question. It's a good question because the normal person who doesn't do stand-up might not know that. So I fire back with the answer, dude, because I know it. And it's Tuesday. Because the people come home from the road either Sunday or Monday, and then they'll pop in on Tuesday if they're trying to work some shit out. And then go back out Thursday or Friday and sometimes even Wednesday. Tuesday. So I say Tuesday and sometimes Wednesday, actually. And he says, oh, cool. All good, right? But no, I'm knee-deep in an oopsie. So the guy says, saw Whitney Cummings there recently. Man, is she a professor. And I'm thinking, oh, this is directed by David Lynch. Because I don't know really what's happening. And I'm like, does this guy know my history? Or like, does he know I used to be friends with her or whatever the fuck? And I'm like, Professor? And he said, yeah, man. So I say, oh yeah. I just said, yeah, she sure is. Because I want to be out of this conversation, right? And the guy says, man, yeah. I said, oh, cool, man, cool. And then he said, yeah, dude, I mean, this is the next thing he said. She reads a lot. And I said, oh, cool. And he said, yeah, man, I mean, she just reads a lot. And I said, okay, dude, by the way, still, windows open. I said, and so now I'm like, where else can this go? Turn green, turn green, turn green, turn green. Then the guy says, do you read? I swear to God, this is all true. And I looked at him and I said, what? And he said, do you read a lot? Do you like go to the, I swear to God, he said, do you like go to the library and check out books and stuff? Oh, guy. I just looked at him and not rudely, but I said, nah. Hey, guy. You driving by? Hey, guy. We're in the middle of the street in different cars. Hey, guy. Who are you? So I say, nah, not really. Oh, yeah, you don't read a lot? And I said, nah, not really. I don't go to the library and check out books. I'm like, what? And then he says, but you write a lot, huh? And when he says that, he goes like this. But you write a lot, huh? Like this. And I'm like, that's not that much. But I go, yeah, I'm always working on stuff, And he says, oh, man. The next thing out of his mouth is, you know what a social worker is? And he asks the question, and look, the question's fine. It's not a weird question. It's kind of a weird question to ask a 44-year-old man, because I should know what a social worker is, and I do. But it's absolutely the weirdest time to ask somebody the question, do you know what a social worker is? Right? Because, hey, dude, you're in one lane and I'm in the other. All right? And so I say, yeah. And he says, I'm a social worker. And I said, oh, cool. He says, and I think laughter's the best medicine. So keep doing what you do, man. And that's when a light bulb went off and I went, oh, autism. Because this is absolutely bonkers. And I drove away. That was when it turned green. And David Lynch yelled cut. And dude, it was phenomenal. I get home and then I show up and I pull out the food for everybody at the house. There's like 4 people at the house. I pull out mine. I start eating mine, and it's fucking chef's kiss because I haven't had it in about 2 weeks. Not twice a week would make me vomit. So Calvin walks into the room and he says, Dad, did you get me anything? And I'm like, oh, now I got to feel bad because I didn't get him something. And he's like, did you get me anything? And he's just 4, so he forgot he doesn't like the place. And I'm a fucking idiot for not getting him something. But then I'm like, then why did he try to sell me so hard on not getting him something? It's kind of his fault. But then I'm like, he's 4, nothing's his fault. So it's kind of my fault. I should have got him like bread or something. And I said, oh, buddy, you told me not to get you anything because you said you didn't want it. And he said, Yup. Good, because that's what I don't like. Dude, and I was like, wow, that's amazing. Good. Yup, good, because that's what I don't like. Like, just checking in that I brought no Sweetgreens near him for him to the house. What if, I got you a bowl, actually. He would have been mad. And you know what? I would have been proud of him to be mad. That's so awesome to have such strong opinions as a 4-year-old. Fuck yeah, man. I wonder when he's going to stop actually watching I watch those YouTube videos of, I don't watch them. I watch them because they're on, but they're for kids, and it's just YouTube. They'll be like 18 million. They'll be like 100 million views on a cartoon that you've never even heard of or seen, and then you'll click it, and it's always like some kind of song, and the lyrics are always like super specific and weird, and it's always about like either learning something or health, right? At least that's what my algorithm does. It'll be like a fish at the doctor's, and it'll just be like a song like, hello, I need the doctor, hello, I need the doctor, and then like the doctor will come in, and it's like a fucking fox, and it's like, what seems to be the problem? You come here to get a diagnosis, and you're just like, what the fuck, what the fuck is this? YouTube is like amazing and amazingly shitty. Like, what is happening? Nobody should ever see this. Why is a fox talking to a fish in a doctor's office? And why are they singing about diagnoses? Like, I have a red rash. And then you realize, oh yeah, a Russian guy made it. And they just straight up AI'd it into English. It's so funny. It's so funny, dude. I come to the psychiatrist to talk about the issues. And Calvin's just sitting, watching, eating Funyuns, On our LG TV that we move around because we don't have TV yet. No, I don't even. No. We're well beyond that. We used to have the TV on the coffee table. We took the TV off, and now we just have the LG TV. That's not the LG TV. The LG TV is this big. So, yeah, the white thing. So, so now. Oh man, Krista, I took a nap. I took a nap today, dude. It just caught me the fuck off guard, like somebody knocked me out. When you're just like, I'll just lay here for a little bit. All of a sudden, it's 4. You go, what? Is it? Is it Earth? And I walked downstairs, and Kristen was painting the stairs because that's who I married. And so, and she's watching, the 48 hours on the LG TV. And that was when we brought him in, and we started to he confessed to we were cross-examining, and I walk out, and she's just painting the stairs, and I'm just like, what is that? What is that? She's like, oh, I think I'm gonna paint it the same color as the wood. It kind of looks cool like this. And I said, oh, what color is that? And she's just like, dead salmon. And I'm like, what? That's what they call it. The fucking names. Like, I understand colors gotta be, there's a lot of colors, there's different shades and hues. Like, she'll paint the whole wall the same color, and it's a different color, I guess. And it's not white, it's soft chamois. And you're like, go fuck yourself. Dude. Sherwin-Williams or whatever you are. The names of the things are unforgivable, actually. The names of the paint names. Just look at some of these. Dead salmon, dude. color names. Paint color names. Explore. Here we go. Here's Pinterest. You know how we like Pinterest. Oh wow, Pinterest fucking sucks. This is too much. Come on. It's just pictures of shit I don't want. Paint colors. Look at this shit. Every website I go on now is like a prompt comes up. Hi, I'm Betty. Chat with me to find your perfect color. You're not Betty, you know? If you wanted to make it real and like you weren't AI, you would have picked a name that people have fucking used in the last 3 decades. Hi, I'm Blanche. Here to help. It's It's Blanche and Jebediah. Ask us anything. So, look at this. Red colors. Look at this. Color by family. So there's red, there's orange, there's yellow. Red, 602 colors. Go fuck yourself. Orange, 518 colors. Go fuck yourself. Yellow, 240 yellows. You know how shitty yellow is? Have 4 of them. Bright, dark, banana, and the neon. And don't use any of them for your home. Green, there's 619 greens. I would guess that there were the most greens. Because, you know why? Women love green, and beyond that, they love to say they love green. It's the safest color to love as a woman because it's not pink, it's not typical. You're not going against the grain and being like, I like dude colors. You're playing it safe, and you're saying green, and it's probably a forest green, okay? Blue, 409 blues. I would think more than that. Gray, forget it. There's just, don't even say how many there are. There's infinite grays. Neutral, wow, 796 neutral. Let's just look at the neutral colors just to get pissed off. Look at this. Look at this. They got to call it something, though. Oh, wow. Oh, wow, dude. The first one, white-winged dove. I'll shit all over. Lilac Hush. There's whipped mocha, and then there's frosted toffee. Now I'm just hungry. Driftwood, okay. Look at this. Coachman's Cape. Fucking worst superhero. Clinton Brown. Just a lawyer in the 80s. I mean, these... Rural Earth, a movie that would win Sundance in 2001. Wow. Rural Earth. Starring a woman that made 3 movies and then did one with Ethan Hawke, and you never saw her again. Anyway. Enough of that. Halloween was dope. Halloween was maybe I've had some good Halloweens. I'm not a guy for Halloween, though. Halloween isn't really my holiday. If I had to pick what my holiday is, it would probably be Kwanzaa. But it would probably be Christmas. I love Christmas. Yeah. Anyway, we did it as a family, and Calvin wanted to be Minecraft, and we were like, "Well, who do you want to be?" And he was like, "Steve." That's the lead guy in Minecraft. So I'm like, "Well, that's a blue shirt and purple pants. Like, what? How can we?" That's not a costume, really. I mean, but also kind of easy. So cool. And then Christian was like, I got this. And for 2 days, made a Steve costume that is like boxy and looks like the Pixels and shit. Like she used cardboard and felt and went to Michael's 3 times and then drove back. I think Michael's is just the guy she's having an affair with. I don't even know. Like, it's just... and a helmet that looks like block hair. It's hilarious. It's hilarious looking, and she killed it. But it wasn't enough because we got to all do it. So she dressed us up as PlayStation controllers, and I'm like, what? And then Billy was a creeper from Minecraft, so she made the green blocky outfit for him. Bro, it's hysterical, okay? And you know, when you're a kid and you're in the costume, you're not like, I'm dressing up as the guy. You're like, I'm fucking Batman. If shit goes down, I'll save. You know, you're not like, you know, and even though you got the, you know, because it's cold, so you got like either thermal under the costume that Batman doesn't really have, or you've got a starter jacket over the fucking, you know. And so, but yeah, my son was just like, I'm Steve. And he was just walking around like Minecraft. And then we go to where we meet the people, the friends, and then we go trick or treat. And Billy was on one, man. Billy was just walking around. But Calvin we probably hit 6 houses, and he couldn't believe that we had this bag of candy. It's like he's had conscious Halloweens before, but this one is like he's 4. He's in it, you know? So we hit 6 houses, and one of them, the kids were coming out there like, they got the king size, get in there. And he went in and he got like a king size Hershey's. And after that, he was like, I want to eat these. And I was like, well, we're still trick-or-treating. We can eat them when we get home. And he was like, okay, let's go home. And I was like, well, you don't want to keep going? And he was like, no, let's go home. I said, okay, just so you know, we can go trick-or-treat, get more candy, or we can just go home right now and eat the candy that you have. And he says, yeah, immediately. He's like, go home. What are we talking about here? I'm like, okay. We went home, and he just ate like so much candy. And it was hilarious because it was all like an hour. And I was like, dude, that's how it is. That's how it's good. That's how to do it. When I was a kid, I would hit no less than 50 houses. I think there were new houses made for that night because I'm like, what's this one? Who's here? Ding dong. Mounds. What's this one next to this one? Oh, yeah, this is that weird girl in school's house. Ding dong, 100 grands. Milton Pethica's house used to give out apples, for fuck's sake, dude. And one time, he did ROTC, though. He was after that, he did ROTC. And he's what the fuck is he now? One time, I'll never forget this, but he was on a skateboard, and he went by, and I had a whoopee cushion, and I just went, and I did it, and we laughed, and then he didn't laugh, but he was like, me and my friends laughed, and we went to my house. And then the next day he saw me, he said, hey, Chris, I forgot to beat you up yesterday because of the whoopee cushion thing, and then ran at me and tackled me and started fighting me. I forgot to beat you up. Like he's in bed at night, he's like, oh, fuck. Dude, my mistake. So it's not Halloween anymore. That's cool. I guess that things did get scary. During Halloween is like cool, but then it's like, yo, it makes your kids like scared. So it's for kids, but also it's for kids and sluts, obviously, Halloween, right? For some reason, sluts had to like get in there. They finagled their way in. It's for us too, actually. Look. I'm a sexy photographer from the 19. I'm a sexy archaeologist, and you're just like, what, dude? If archaeologists dressed like that, they would have found nothing except pussy. Found it. Oh man, I'm tired. Fuck these dinosaurs. Sup. How did sluts finagle their way into? It's because we're such idiots, dude. Guys don't give a fuck. Guys are so dumb when it comes to that. So anyway, but now Calvin is like, he's at the age where he's scared of things that aren't scary. You're just like, what? Like, it would be fine if, for me, it is fine, but it would be understanding if I would understand it if I was like, he's like, Dad, I'm scared. And I'm like, of what? And he's like, a demon with black, dark eyes, the color of, Clinton Brown or whatever the fuck that color was for Sharon Williams. The color of black, like, the very depths of hell. And he has wings, so he's airborne and he could get you anytime. But it's not. It's like, he's like, Dad. And I'm like, what? What are you scared of? And he's like, a cheeseburger that it could eat me. I swear is what he said. And I'm like, what? And he was like, what? I saw a big cheeseburger that could eat me. And I'm not. It sounds like I'm making it up. I'm not. And then I'm like, buddy, you eat cheeseburgers. Cheeseburgers don't eat you. And he's like, no, what about that song, Hamburger, Cheeseburger, Big Mac, Whopper? And I'm like, what fucking song? He's like, what about hamburger, cheeseburger, Big Mac, Whopper? And I'm like, do you know what a Big Mac and a Whopper is? And he's like, no. And I'm like, then why are you scared of it? But we do fear what we don't know. So now I'm like Googling Big Mac and Whopper, and I'm like trying to show him what it is. I'm like, look, this is from Burger King. This is from McDonald's. You like to go to McDonald's? The Big Mac has got the thing in it, and it's got the burger, and then the lettuce and the sauce, and then the Burger King, this is that. And then he says to me, who's the Burger King? And I'm like, oh, it's that fucking mascot who kind of looks scary. So I look at him, I'm like, it's not a real guy. Because if I show him the Burger King at 9:30 at night while he's in bed, he's going to be scared of the fucking Burger King. And then I turn on the Burger King commercial. He's like, what's that? And he says, BK, have it your way. It's good. And now that's been stuck in my head for 2 weeks. And then I'm like, and then he says, who sings that? And then I'm like, oh, you know who actually sings that is Craig Robinson. And so I'm like, oh, you know who actually sings that? Dad's friend. And he's like, really? And I'm like, yeah. So now I'm like, this is cool, man. You don't have to be scared of it. Dad's friend singing the thing. And so I leave, and he's like running into my room, talking about cheeseburgers and shit. We got a Monster Away spray, which I thought would never work. It's a cure. Dude, him going to bed, walking down the hallway. Saw a cheeseburger. So I just had to spray because the cheeseburgers. This is the shit he's saying to me. Okay, good night. Don't spray it too much because it smells a little bit. Can't just be water, even though it could just be water. They got to make it something so it smells like shit. So I'm fucking. Now I smell like some version of lavender, and it's just too much. My wife is like, it's really nice actually, and I'm just like, I don't want to be smelling too many smells here. Just I want to smell my. You know what I want to smell? House. My house. So he's just spraying away the monsters and just goes to sleep. It's been 5 nights since Halloween, and the kid is just sleeping like he's a 50-year-old now. To think of him in bed just is the most adorable thing. Anyway. I don't know anymore. I don't even know what's been happening in the world. I just see all the news and I'm just staying out of it. Because I'm not political. And that's that. You know what's weird is, like, I saw a guy today, and vote for whoever you want to, truly. This is not, I don't judge. I really don't. Like, I don't know enough. But I saw a guy today I put it on my Instagram story, but I saw it he had a big truck, a big white truck, and he had on it probably had, honestly, I would say 12 flags on it, and not and big ones, okay, like big ones, and they all said the same thing. They all said, Trump 2024, or one of the flags was him standing up with the blood on his face and the Secret Service like protecting him when he got shot in the ear, and then he had little flags that said Trump on the front, and then one of the flags was so big that he had to have two suction cup things on the side of his door to hold it, right? Like they were hands. And I mean, it was like, I mean, they had a sale on flags, the guy, and it was so big, and then I'm like, yo, you want to vote for Trump? Yeah, vote for Trump. And then I'm like, what are you doing to your car? Hey, dude. I mean, pretty much if you put a bumper sticker on your car, you're a dickhead, right? It doesn't matter what it is about, period. You could put a fish bumper sticker on it. You could put that, you could put a baby on board is maybe the only acceptable one, so people drive carefully around you. But like, honk if you love Jesus, you dickhead. On up. And then you just got like 12 big flags that you like, not, you know what I'm saying? And I'm like, what does this guy do after the 6th, or what is the election day? The 5th, 6th, 5th, after the 5th. Hey, if he wins, cool. Keep riding around for a week or two. If he doesn't, I guess you get to keep it on or whatever. I don't know, dude. It's just real odd to put anything on your car like that. To put anything on your... When did it become the norm for people to be like their identity, whether you're right or left? And I'm not getting political, but let's do some hollers here. Happy birthday, Aiden, from Nick and Liam. There you go. Stonefruitroasting.com offers high-quality specialty coffee that can be delivered nationwide. Order today at stonefruitroasting.com. Stream Marcus J Music wherever you listen to music, or check out the Marcus J Show wherever you listen to podcasts. He's a true baby, bringing wood for the cabin. Amazing. Go to holler.baby/Crystalia if you want to purchase a shout-out or mini ad on this podcast. What's up with this here? So the Menendez brothers have wives? They married in prison. Man. Like, this is no hate or anything, but only a woman would marry someone in prison, Oh, I don't have to fuck them? I do. Get on, How do you, on Zoom, you could just get married after you watch fucking, some Adam Sandler movie. There was a thing on Reddit that was like, man, how are the wives taking this? Think about this. Usually people who marry incarcerated spouses do so because subconsciously or not, they have this great sense of freedom and still ability to narrate. Imagine that, dude. What a funny, I bet I could make that a funny bit, dude. Just imagine you show up and you're just like, honey, I'm home. And that's what and finally, oh my God, I'm so happy. Hey, Divorce City. It's like that guy from Shawshank Redemption that got out finally and then killed himself. He just yeeted himself into oblivion because he was just like, I liked it better on the inside. That's what these wives are going to do. More importantly, the bigger challenge here is the man They married, came with stipulations of being incarcerated forever, and they didn't have to take on any real-world marriage duties. Telephonically available. I don't think that would cut it for my wife. Look at this. Opinion is if you're married. My opinion is if you're married into a lifestyle where you are waived all those wifely obligations, you don't have the skill level or motivation. Skill level. Like they're crunching numbers. Or motivation to be a meaningful guide to such a very sensitive, high-valued, crucial challenge. Who is this guy? Skeletor? Let's hope the family who seems to be located throughout the country. What? No. Finds a way to be there for them first-handedly. Yeah. Man, I'll tell you what. Imagine you were in jail. Got married. Wow. Look at their wives. So they've met them. They've been with them. I guess conjugal visits and all that shit. But, wow. So how could you do that? Marry someone in prison? I'll tell you what, if I was in jail, I'd be a fucking hot ticket for some women on the outside. Yeah, I just imagine coming out. Imagine them coming out and being like, "Sweetie, I love you." Also, I've only fucked 8 people and 7 were guys fucking me. So, what I won't just fucking every woman after that. Yeah. Wow. Anyway. All right. Well, look, guys, the election is over. Congratulations. And I'll be in Bismarck, Sioux Falls, Toronto, and I'm in Sudbury tonight, I think. I have 2 shows there. That's it for YouTube. If you want to watch the rest of the episode, go on over to Patreon. Patreon.com/Chris Leah. And I thank you for being a Patreon member. Honestly, I really do appreciate you, and I'm very grateful for it. Solo.